Hey, welcome to another wonderful time in the presence of Premiere. So we'll be going into composition in Premiere. We'll be treating effects, effect control, color correction, uh, focusing on RGB. So let's get right into it. Like we ended our last class with this editing style of editing, how to put a name tag, how to cut, how to do our title, how to just do basic cuts and basic putting together of uh, what we have. So this time around we are going to do uh, effects, effect control, and also lay our foundation for color correction. So let's quickly jump into the part of effects. So let's quickly understand what we are doing here, what effects actually is all about. Effects, this area is just about what we can add or what additional thing we can put into uh, our videos that we have on the timeline. It's as simple as that. What we can add, another uh, thing that we can add to our what we have on your timeline. So here we have the first one. We have presets. Inside presets, we can easily see what we have inside. In preset actually means that is a work. This thing has been done. It's been worked on it, and it's just for you to just apply. It's a combination of like 2, 3, or 4 effects that has been added together to make this. For instance, if I this first one I say bevel edge tick, bevel edge tick will actually work on text. So if I drop it on this, it gives your image a sort of bevel. If you look, down here, let me say it again. Whatever effects that you are doing here, I want to put it again. Whatever things you apply from here, pick from here, and put on anything on the timeline, it automatically shows as control effects, as control panel here. So now what we just dropped, bevel edge tick is actually here now. Is applied to. So we have bevel edge tick. Before we didn't have uh, drop down. Let me go back. Undo. You can see this is our, we have drop shadow initially, we have text biome, we have that, we have our vector motion, blah blah blah, and all this stuff here. So now I'm trying to close everything down. So by the time I add bevel into it, bevel, so where is bevel here now? Yeah, this is it. This is bevel now. So you can see that there are some changes on the text. So I can always make some uh, adjustment to fit into what I actually want to achieve. But either you drop it on the floor or you drop it on the stuff here. So bevel edge, if you increase it, you see the effects on the stuff. So let's just quickly move away from this and let's focus on what we are doing for today. So what we have is we have presets, different stuff. We have blur. You have to fast blur in. That means if you have your image, you can easily if you drop fast blur in on it, gives you,
There was a particular time we're
it's
together in the
already
city.
animated. There is, here you always see I'm pressing on plus key. It's expanding this. So it's that there is work that has been done on it. So you see from this point, from this key point to the other, that means it's already preset. The animation is already preset. is a blur. We have it. You can always do it yourself, but this one has been done already. You just pick it up and drop it. So from this edge,
There was a
we
particular
blur
time we're
in
together in the
and
city.
out. So if I want to use this fast blur out, I will drop it and drop it on the video, and automatically it goes to the end of that video. So I want to see the end. Let me press my minus key. See, it's here. Let me press my plus key so that I can get to it. Or you can also drag this icon here to actually see what you want to do. So press my plus key and dragging this down. So play
I don't know. On a scale of
blowout. So that's just how that works. Deleting the in and out fast blow now to have my stuff back again. Quickly, let's go out of preset. We have lumetri. Lumetri is about color, and we'll come to this, or probably we'll treat this lumetri in another session. You're going to enjoy it. It's a powerful tool. And then we have audio session, audio transition. You can always use your audio transition to do stuff here, so you can try it. Audio effects, different types of audio effects that will be handling. When you get to audio, you actually undo that stuff. Video effects. Now let's quickly do some stuff on this video effect. If you pull it down, we have adjust, channel, blur sharpening, color correction, the start, blah 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 blah, and all that. So depends on what you actually want to do. Now we are doing. I want you to look at it. Just open it. Color extract. What do they mean by extract? Level. What do they want? You might want, if you try to start to pull and treat this, you get boring to you. But I don't want that in this class. Let's go straight down to blur first. Blur, we've already treated blur in aspect of presets that here. So the blur that they actually use is Gaussian blur. If I drop it here, I can easily this is my blur, then I can animate it. Click bam and go back to the beginning and blur, give it a blur, and when it moves now, when it starts now,
there was a particular time we're together in the sitting room.
So but that is why we call this presets. That's why it's called presets here, so that it's already done for you. You don't need to waste your time in trying to create anything. You already pick it up and just drop it and you move. But now we just did what they call that they actually did under presets here of blur and fast blur in and fast blur out. So we manually did the effects now. I hope we are on the same page now. So let's move on that. So that's how that works. So let's take it out. Pressing my delete key out of that, and let's move to. So let's quickly go to color correction. Color correction. So we have brighten. This is a very powerful tool. Brighten and contrast. When you want to do any color correction, when you have your video actually determines what you are going to do, the color you are going to correct, how your video actually looks like, how the end result, what the video recorder, probably on your phone, or probably somebody has recorded something and they give it to you. It's actually have something to do with your eye, with your how you actually see something, how you think it should be at the end of the day. So this actually comes from the part of how frequent have we been loving good videos? Have you been loving, being able to identify how color should look like? How attentive have you been to seeing images, seeing people and know, okay, this is the color of this person. How can I make it look real? Or how can I make it look like a film? How can I make it look like improve on what I'm seeing? or what I want people to see. Yes, sir. So it now depends on how you can actually interpret all these things. So the tools is actually there for you to actually use to achieve what you have in your head or in your mind, to actually actualize those things. So I would like to put you through something now. I would like to uh, give you put something on the screen, and then we'll be referring to it and now understand how it actually works. Uh, let's quickly jump into that now. Now, see, let's say this is our point. We want to correct this particular section of this is a video we want to work on to actually achieve what we want to achieve. Let me look for a stable place. Okay, this is a point for me, and then I want to, yeah, let's come down to this particular part. I want to take this frame, picture of this frame. It said export frame. If I click on this particular button, it's actually take the picture of this frame and put it. It's either you put it, you ask it to go to a particular place or so. Don't want here. Let me get it. Uh, Click on it. Click picture. It says where do you want to save it. You can browse down to where you want to keep it. This image. Yeah, I'm already in the place I want to keep it. And take note of this. Import into project, so that you won't start to go and be looking for it again. If you don't click this, it won't drop it here. It won't drop it here. So if I say okay, now I've located where it should go and put the image that is actually picking, that's the still. I say okay, automatically it will drop it for me in here. I hope you get it. So now let me bring it to the timeline. That's still image. Let me bring it to the timeline. And now this is it on the timeline. So what next is, I want to cut it into two. So I need crop to actually do that job for me, to cut so I can be seen, because already this one is covering what is under. If I will be using this to now enable. I'm right clicking on this and I'm disabling this. You can't see the difference now. Sure, you can't see it because they are still the same point, the same image, so you are not seeing any difference now. So let me go to let's go to effects. I have something called crop. Let me just search for it here, or if you want to go into it and look for it, go to video effect, go to perspective. No, I have it at transform. Go to transform. Then you have crop. Just click, or if you are finding it difficult to see next time before you get to, just type it here, crop. It will bring it, it will show it here for you. Then you can drop it on it. So I told you anything that you drop from effect here, it comes to effect control. Then you can now make control. So I want to drag this thing, crop it from right side to my left side. I want to crop it. So I go to the right, I move to it and move off, like, let me say 50. Let me do 50. Is on 50 now. So now, good. Don't worry yourself. You see the changes now. You see. So come back to click what we want to correct. This is our color correction. What we want to correct. Then let's now go to RGB, or let me say, let's first of all let's do contrast. Contrast. Take this one off. Crop. That's supposed to be set for. Let's do color correction, brightness and contrast. So drop it on your video. So this is it here. You have it here. So a little bit, just give it. You see the difference now. This is it. You are brightening it up by increasing. Go back. Contrast darkens it. So you can see what that effect does, and you can see this one that you have on top, that this is our old way how it looks like before. Now this is our new stuff. So this is my video. Take note what I'm clicking there. So brighten and contrast. So that's just that. Don't worry yourself. So let's go. I want to off it now. Let's go and look for RGB curve. This RGB curve is a tool for our color correction. You always find it here as well, but don't worry yourself. Just type it RGB curve. You see it under obsolete. You drop it on your video. You see, when you drop it RGB curve, then you have this. So this is where you need to calm down and take notes. I've taught you about this RGB. This is where the color part that we taught when we are doing a foundation class. We taught about it, RGB. We taught about CMYK. Please go and refer to that first class. RGB, CMYK. But in video we use RGB. In print we use CMYK. Dealing with RGB now. So this is a master that control 1, 2, 3, the 3 of the colors. So if I try and pull it down, it darkens and give it some effect. If I pull it up, it brightens it up. At the same time, if you don't do that, anything from here down, this place from up is light, down is deep color. So if I take the point up here and drag it to left or right, it's going to be light. And if you take the one here, you drag it down, it deepens it. So most of the times it works better for you when you pull it most of that from the middle, and it gives you a feel of cool color, cool temperature. And then let's now look at our red. Before we do that, you can as well create another point for it here, and just give it, so that you reduce it, or you can create any point for it at any point in time. Okay. So let's just play around with this color. If you drop this red, that means you are taking away red out of it from that video. If you pull it up, that means you are increasing, adding red to it. Take note, if you bring it down, you are reducing the red rate. If you take it up, you are increasing the red rate. So now we are in the middle. This one as well, this is green. If you increase, you are adding green. If you drop, that means this particular video is more of blue and red. What do we have as blue and red? You can actually see that there is red on this top and there is blue, more of blue. So it's not balanced. Sure you get. So that is how. So if I pull blue down, you remove my blue and you leave it with green, more of green and red. So please take note of that. As simple as that. So now I want this thing to look more like this guy color and rich. So I need more of sort of blue. Blue that will bring out the yellow, a little blue of it. Blue is too much. Yeah, I have it that way, and I have this. Let me change the resolution so that I can have a full color of this guy here. So I have dip a little bit. My green, where is my green? Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I'm not adding green. So I think you can see this chart has actually come out, and as well the face has come out. It's a little bit too dark. Let me just put it back. So what we actually did is a little bit of amendment to just give this guy some good look, good fresh look. You can see the difference between the two now. If I change this now to, you can see the difference. If I right click on this, I come to enable off and on. You can see the difference. So I want to reduce this blue a little bit. Come to my video, uh, yeah, I think I'm good here. I don't want to put too much into it. Yes, I don't want to put too much. If I'm doing film, I would have been okay this way. But this is a good color for me to actually make it. Let me horn this back and give it. Let me put the 50 to the right part so that you can see. You can be looking at the difference of what we are creating. Sure, you get. We are not totally out of stuff with the color, but we are not doing. We are doing good. We are not doing bad at all. So let me do a little of blue, a little bit of blue into it. Okay, yeah, let me just do so that I can make this background a little bit richer and all that. So this color is good for you. For us now, we have a balanced color correction here. Balanced color correction. This does not necessarily need when you actually working. You can use it just to give yourself for explanation purpose. That's why I'm using this particular export. So it's not necessarily necessary when you are doing your color correction. Please note that. So you can just put your color stuff and you move. You don't necessarily need to go and do this process. No, I'm using this process, this guy here, this still picture, to explain, to see the physical changes that we are making to the video. Please note, don't go and stress yourself. As soon as you have your stuff, if you want to know the difference and see the changes that you are making, come to your color control. This point I'm off, so just off it and on it. You will see that, oh, you've made a good improvement. Please note that. Don't go and stress yourself and be saying your teacher said you should do it this way. No, I'm just using that as an explanatory tool for faster and better understanding. Are we good? So let's go. So we have this guy color correction. So this is a basic color correction you can have in Premiere. This is a basic stuff. I would have asked you to do contrast, color, the contrast and brightness that we did the other time. But what this contrast is doing, brightness and color, brightness and contrast is doing, this master has done it for us already. So we might not necessarily go to this. Another time that what we'll be doing next, we might not necessarily do RGB. There is another improved color setting that actually include RGB curve as well now. So we'll be actually treating that. That is what we call lumetri. Lumetri we actually solve. We have the combination. Lumetri we have the combination of RGB and every other tools in it to have brightness and contrast. So we're going to train that. But for a basic, for a gold stuff now, we need to do that. Let's just understand RGB so that when you get to other places, you can always, where you don't have lumetri, you can always have a RGB and make the necessary correction in color correction in what you are doing. I hope you are right. So let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. So you can close it down and see that we are doing, not doing bad. And then let's easily now just copy this Control plus C. I'm clicking the Control plus C. So you need to add it to other footage that we have and paste Control plus V and paste it on the remaining footage that you've done. You make correction on one stuff, then you paste it in the rest. Control V, it's working there. Control V, Control V. Then you have a nice, a full. Let me disable this guy here. So we have the color feel that we are supposed to do. So I hope you have a clue or a understanding about what exactly we are talking about here. So we have effect control, we've done effect control. We have color correction, we've done that. But let me dwell a little bit more about color control. It's not about color control. It's not always about color control. Color control also has some elements you need to understand. Let me quickly do that before we go. So here, these are the basic stuff that you always found when you bring anything from any footage from here down to your timeline. We will always see this motion, opacity, and those are the basic stuff you always see in it. Let me bring in a new fresh footage from here so that you see this is our fresh stuff. And when you click on it, you notice that it doesn't have RGB or whatever. This one has RGB. So this is it. So you see motion. So what is this motion doing? So you can always do it. So let's come back to that. So since I've established that, I'm deleting this. So you can always, like this, if you are watching this kind of stuff.
No, I don't.
And blah blah.
I don't
blah,
fancy it.
we are doing this. Go with that. So I want to come to the next footage.
No, I don't.
I want to make this thing look as if I use 2 camera angles. So I can cheat so that you give the people, you can communicate that to people well and easily. So this particular footage,
I don't know. There are different strokes for different folks, so it depends on the preference. Me as a person, I don't really fancy it, so I can't really say more.
I can from here I can cut this into another footage. I mean another loop. Let me take my blade. I press on C, key C. I cut it into 2, and I pick my V. I change to selection 2. So I select this particular stuff, and I come to motion. Motion is, we have another motion. We have scale. We have position. That means I can reposition this left and right. That is my x-axis, and then I can go my y-axis up and down. And we have scale. Can scale in and out. We simplify our z-axis most of the time. So now I want to make this also here you can rotate your image, and this is a positioning anchor. We'll dwell more on that, but don't worry about that. So the major thing is that this timeline, there is a timeline here which is actually used for keyframing. Take note of that. So what I want to do now, I want to increase this scale. I want to scale it in and just go down. I want to make it's better by the side, closer. So when I play now,
Friends, me as a person, I don't really fancy it, so I can't really say much about people see it.
see that impression, that feel that
well, I don't know, there are different strokes for different folks, so it depends on the preference. Me as a person, I don't really fancy it, so I can't really say much about people see it.
So I will quickly for Jara class for today, I will just do motion keyframing. Let us dwell a little bit on keyframing here. Keyframing. So in this part, what we've done, we have these buttons here. I wanted us to treat this in After Effects, but let's do a brief understanding about keyframing here. If you click on this, it says toggle animation. That means you want to start animating. If you remember, we did something of that nature in blurring the other time. So for people that are not used to it, so keyframing is when you click this thing, it starts something. You notice this thing there's a button here. If I off it now, you see, I say yes. If I click on this, there is a button, it starts. That means there is a time. It's you are as an action, whatever action you make on this will actually be affected now. We become emotion. So let me move. So I want to say from here to here, I want you to increase this image at so rate. So increase this rate at so rate. The way it is here, bring it down. I want you to end it this way. You have given your computer a command. So if I bring it down from here to here, I want you to move this from here to here at this rate. So that's what we just did.
Yeah, my sister does.
You give to. So it's fast.
Yeah, my sister does.
You can see it depends on the pressure you want to.
Yeah, my sister does.
If you want to bring it more slower, you want to make it slower, you can do that.
Yeah, my sister does. She likes it. There was a particular.
I hope you understand that. I hope you get it. And as well, if I also want to add rotation, you can add. If you want to add opacity, you can also add by just clicking the start button. You click it. So let me go forward here. By the time you get here, I want it to come out as 100%. So from the beginning, I can use this arrow to go back straight instead of moving this. If I click on it, it takes me. So from the beginning, I don't want to have anything. So I now have it as 0, from 0 to 100. You can see this one is moving. Opacity is becoming solid. So if I play.
Yeah, my sister does. She likes it. Yeah, my sister does. She likes.
If you want to rotate, you can as well rotate. Let's bring back our whole opacity up. So I want to put additional stuff into this as well. So go forward. So I want to rotate it a little bit. See the effect, and let's see how.
Yeah, my sister does. She likes it.
So you can always use these things to spice up your editing.
Yeah, my sister does.
Use it to spice up your editing.
Yeah, my sister does. She likes it. There was a particular.
Whatever you are doing, you can always use it. I have a client that all these things, the small fizzy, he likes it. He just loves it. The motion, you are giving it some motion. You are using your still graphics, still pictures to actually express, giving it motion. You just killing him if you are doing it. So please, you can use this particular effect to enhance your video editing. So I want to see the impact of color correction and also motion under effect control in this your next class effect. So please use motion, use position, use scale. Just do something fantastic or rubbish. If you want to do it, just do something with it. Do anything. Express yourself any way you think you want to do it. Just express yourself. It's very, very important. This is where you can make mistake, then we correct you. And the funny thing about it is that you are not making mistake. Something is the way it appeals to you, is the way you want to communicate. The best video that makes sense, that makes major viewing on YouTube doesn't actually look good at times. It doesn't look professionally good, but it makes people's sense. So don't be intimidated at all. Just express yourself. Just express yourself. Don't be afraid. Do something with it and play with it. Then let's talk about it. Let's deliberate about it. Let's correct it. Let's put more ideas into it. Let's take it to another level. So that's our next class. So please quickly do that. Then we move to the next class as soon as possible. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy it. Any question? Let's start asking. right now.